Hey there, viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Power Core Combiners Huffer. And yeah, this version of Huffer definitely looks different from the G1 version. Because, well, the G1 version of Huffer was definitely much smaller and was a short-nosed truck. Whereas with this guy, well, he's a long-nosed truck. So yeah, having a look at the figure. So yeah, as I said, he's a long-nosed truck this time, and this is actually a later release variant of the figure, because from what I can remember, the first variant of the figure, this hood section was actually a darker orange instead of the same color as the main figure. But here we have the smokestacks, which on the original Huffer would be his arms. We've got this Autobot insignia. We have these little light blue sections. Since this is a Power Core Combiners figure, these are what the little drones would attach onto. I think that is supposed to be this light blue to indicate that these are like little Allspark bits. But that's just my guess. Like, yeah, that's just my estimate. Same details on the other side. And underneath, well, I can actually stand it up, because this is just the entire robot. This is when my throat stops working. But yeah, this is pretty much just the entire robot. So you can have it standing up if you want to. Now, as you can see, it does have a mini-con port here, because this guy normally does have a mini-con named Calibast. Although, unfortunately, I do not have the mini-con. However, I'm still going to show a mini-con. I'm going to show Jolt. So, you can still plug a mini-con on here. So, if you want, like, a pretend helicopter truck, then go ahead. Hey, imagination, eh? Although, like, unlike with Hot Shots, you kind of have to... But yeah, you can't plug mini-cons on here. Although, like, unlike with Armada, they don't do anything. They're just little target masters and power core combiners. Now, before I continue, here he is with the other power core combiners figure I currently have, Ice Pick. And as you can see, well, Ice Pick is a little snowplow, or a Mr. Plow, if you will. This guy's just a, well, Ice Pick is a Mr. Plow. Huff is just a generic truck. So yeah. I also don't have Ice Pick's mini-con Chain Claw, so that's one thing these two have in common. I don't have their mini-cons, unfortunately. But well, if I get Huffer transformed, start off, unpack this. What I like to do is move this down, just to get it out the way. Split this, and then split this entire section and twist it around. Of course, this is Huffer's arms. These sections will turn around and move them down. Although you have to be very careful, because these are translucent plastic. So if you're not careful, these could snap. So if you do get this figure, I would say be very careful. But split the legs, and then finally move the little head up. And well, that's Huffer in his robot mode. And yeah, that's a pretty standard transformation. If anything, it's pretty much just the arms and that's it. Like, the legs don't transform at all aside from you splitting them. The head's just a little ball joint thing. Yeah, the arms are the main attraction here. Because keep in mind, sorry, my throat just closed up for a split second. With the original Huffer, the entire truck section, like, lifted on a double hinge to show the head. But yeah. Now, if you'll just excuse me as I get Ice Pick transformed for the comparison later on. But yeah. For a while, this is pretty much like the best option for a modern version of Huffer. Because keep in mind, this was released 10 years before the Kingdom figure came out. Will I ever get the Kingdom figure? Well, as of right now, I don't collect the Kingdom figures, but, well, who knows what the future brings. So, yeah. But, well, let's be honest, the Kingdom figure looks much more accurate to Huffer. I mean, for one thing, the head, that looks like a movie-verse Huffer. Because I'm pretty sure the Power Core Combiner figures are supposed to be from the movieverse, although it's not really explained because I think Steamhammer and Smolder appeared in the IDW comics, although Smolder also appeared in one of the movie tie-in cartoons, so it's not really clear on what series that's supposed to be from. Although my best guess is Power Core Combiners is supposed to be the movie series. But that definitely looks like a movie version of Huffer, because it has an entire eye visor instead of Huffer's usual eyes. So yeah, articulation. Well, the head's on a little ball joint, so you can move it around. Well, the arms can move, although they're in a translucent ball joint, so you have to be careful. Although, of course, T-pose, as always. These bits just sort of can pop up as well, because they're on ball joints. There's no waist, although these are on, he's got knees. These legs can move, they can swivel. And you can do the splits, sort of. There we go. So yeah, you can pose them in a few ways. Now for comparison, here he is with Ice Pick. Now which one looks cooler? Well, Ice Pick doesn't really have hands. He just has these little rakes. So I'd say Huffer. But that's just me being biased, because I did used to have this figure. This is my second version, because I did used to have this figure, although the arm did break. And yes, if you do want to, this Macon port can come up if you have the fingernails to do it. But yeah, if you have the fingernails to do it, you can lift this Minicon port up. Normally, this is for an armor mode for the Minicon, although we're just going to do special wind attack modes. I don't know, maybe if Ice Pick's running at him and he wants to just blow him away. There we go, mission accomplished. There we go. But yeah. Now, I could just end the video here, but this is Power Core Combiners we're talking about, so he does have a third mode, so let's just get into that. So, take the head and move that down. Take these little bits and move them up. Take these little bits of crap that's just pissed off because they're on ball joints and they shouldn't be. Take these bits. Give me a minute. Okay, there we go. It's just that the ball joint was not in fully, but you want to have it so the arms pose as such. Yeah, the reason why it kept popping off was because the ball joint was not in fully. So that was a problem on my end. But you want to take the legs and just move them out like so. Take these bits, move them down. And finally, take the combiner head and move that. And here we have Huffer in his torso mode. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any drones to combine them with, so you're just going to have to deal with me holding him. But, well, yeah. Looking at his torso modes, quick 360. Not really much to say, aside from the actual combiner head, looks like Menosaur's head. And if I can just get Ice Pick into his combiner mode for you, excuse me. Okay now, so for comparison, here we have Ice Pick's torso mode, and I probably don't have this transformed correctly, but who cares? So yeah, Ice Pick's one is definitely much wider, and definitely a bit more awkward in my opinion. When it comes to the torso mode, I much prefer Huffer's. And well, overall, I actually do prefer Huffer over Ice Pick. Not because this is based on an actual classic character. I just think this is a more solid figure than Ice Pick is. I mean, sure, the transformation is mainly just the arms and that's it, but well, this is a steady figure. Well, sure, there's translucent plastic in the arms, but this is a figure I could transform over and over and not have to worry about possible breakage. Sure, there's ball joints that could pop off, but aside from that, this is a steady figure. Now, complaints. Well, aside from the ball joints popping off, I don't really have any. So, do I recommend Power Core Combiners Huffer? Well, yeah, this is a really good figure, and I just love how he looks. So, yeah, I definitely do recommend him. So, well, this has been my review on Power Core Combiners Huffer, and this is Charlie Young, signing off.